Hey y'all, welcome to the Gypsy Kitchen. Today we're working on an alternative milk. It's a bit late here, everybody's asleep. You might hear my husband snoring there in the background in his movie, but I was just shutting everything down for the night and I had remembered that I needed to make milk. Travis, he drinks cow's milk, but the rest of the house does not. We do alternative milks. Typically almond. This recipe you can fluctuate and make your own, and I'll show you how to do that. You can use almonds, you can use oats, you can use rice, like brown rice, you can use other nuts, you can use pretty much anything that you see at the store advertised as an alternative milk. You can go ahead and use for your base for your milk. So your alternative base, your main base, and water, and you'll want to soak them in a jar. We make about half a gallon at a time, and I just fill this about yay high with whatever seed or grain it is that we're using, and then fill the rest up with water and let it sit overnight. Like I said, we typically do almond. That's definitely my favorite, and I like using almond because I can, after I'm done making the milk, the byproduct, I can go ahead and use in cooking and stuff with other stuff. So I try to use things that I can integrate into, like muffins or pancakes and things like that. So I try to stay away from the rice stuff, though sometimes I crave the rice or have a recipe that requires the rice. And I'm allergic to oats, and so is Lily, so we can't do oat milk. But this recipe is definitely easily adaptable for all of the nuts and grains you want to use. And we do a Mod Podge, so it won't be just almond milk that I'm showing you. It'll be almond mixed with I got some sunflower seed, some raw sunflower seed, some raw hemp seed, and some chai seed here. So go ahead and get started with our almonds. If I can get them open. There we go. And this will be our main base. So I want to make sure that most of this here is almonds. My daughter Lily also likes these sprouted, and you can do that by letting them sit in water and then draining it overnight, and then rinsing them and draining it again for a couple days, and then they'll start to sprout on their own. And then you can go ahead and use them to make the milk, and that adds a lot more nutrients and stuff to it, because sprouted grains are way better than just dry grains. Got the hiccups. All right, so that there is about how we'll stop, and then we'll fill in the gaps and cracks there with our other grains and seeds. I'm gonna put this one on the side. My creaky dinette table. We're on the slide out. All right, so it's sunflower seeds, raw sunflower seeds. And it doesn't have to be exact, y'all. Okay, this isn't rocket science, or that's a funny thing to be saying, though, isn't it? Rocket science really isn't all that. There's up. That's about it. I want to get as much room in this bottle as possible. That's why I'm giving it a shake. But yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Not much can go wrong here. All right, now I got my hulled hemp seed. Yummy omega fatty acids. Lots of nutrients. Love, love, love. little sprinkling there. That was about an 1/8 cup. Okay, go ahead and shake this about there too. Let it fall in. And I got chai seeds. I am definitely a super awesome superfood. Anything that you can throw chai on, like, totally suggest doing so. You can have an allergic reaction to chai, but it's very, very, very rare. I have latex food syndrome, so I'm allergic to a lot of things, and I do eat some things that are on the list that they say that I'm not supposed to have. There's like 23 or 24 proteins that latex has in common with other plants and stuff, and everything that grows has at least one of those proteins. So it's just a matter of finding out which of those proteins in particular you're allergic to as far as latex proteins go. And there's not enough study out there yet to find out which ones have what proteins, so it's all trial and error. So almonds is on the list of things that I'm not supposed to be able to have, but I have no reaction to them, so I use the almonds. One thing that's totally awesome about the chai, though, is I can make a pudding and stuff out of it because it gets so thick. It makes that gelatinous stuff around the seed once it sits, and it only takes about 15 minutes for it to really plump up. So it's like a tapioca pudding, and tapioca is something that it's definitely on my no list. And it tastes very similar and has that nice, rich little crunch to it too. And they're so tiny, but it's definitely there, and I adore them. And packed full of nutrients, including magnesium and potassium, which I really need in my diet. So this also adds a nice thickener to the milk, which I totally dig. Just keep in mind that they expand about and suck up about 12% of the surrounding liquids. So quite a bit. You don't want to fill your jar up too much and put a lid on and then it expand over and or bust. So just a little bit, and a little bit goes a very long way. For example, 2 cups of almond milk mixed with a 1/4 cup of chai seeds makes rice pudding. That's all you need. You let it sit for 15 minutes and ta-da, it's done. Super thick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take that off, give that a little shake, let you see, if you can, with my light there, what we're dealing with. And make sure we're leaving plenty of room to go ahead and add that water and let these almonds soak up that water. The reason why we soak them, and you can do it dry, but if you do it dry, you're not gonna get as much drawn out of them as you could if they were wet. So that's why we soak them, so that way they're kind of rehydrated, like tea, think almost. And then once you get to blending them up and making them all tiny into kind of a puree, and then straining it through your nut bag or yogurt bag, you really get that creamy, gooey, frothy, yummy alternative milkness. And with the chai, it really gives that texture and that thickness and the same consistency as like cow's milk, which I used to really like. I'm not allergic to cow's milk. I just Google it. I don't want to ruin it for you if you drink cow's milk. Well, why cow's milk, commercially especially, is so bad. How much milk a dairy cow is supposed to make in a day versus how much they're being forced to push. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with water. Let it burp. Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. There we go. Almost to the top, because I know it's going to expand a little bit. Now, a lot of the expansion will retake the place of the water. So it won't displace too much, but just in case, we want to go ahead and make sure that there's enough room for it. And for something that soaks up a lot of liquids, the chia seeds seem to be kind of aquaphobic, so you want to go ahead and give it a shake. Now, some people will say put this in the fridge overnight to keep away from bacteria growth and whatever, and that's true. If you feel uncomfortable with it, go ahead and put it in the fridge. I don't necessarily worry about it too much. I'll leave soup on the stove overnight and eat it for lunch the next day. It's entirely up to you. But here it is. Looks a little muddy. A lot of people also will go ahead and rinse this out before they go ahead and add it in their blender. I don't. I leave it as is. It'll be a little mucky, a little muddy looking, but I like to keep all the nutrients and stuff that are in there. They're pretty much washed and cleaned before they get to us anyway, so I ain't gonna fuss over it. All right, so we'll let that sit, and then in the morning, I'll get Lily to help us. We'll go ahead and add our sweeteners, if you're into sweeteners, and then puree it up and filter it. You can also use like vanilla beans to flavor it. You can use cocoa nibs or cocoa powder and make a chocolate milk. You can use dates to sweeten it. It's one of my favorites, but not one of Lily's in particular. She doesn't like how it gives it that, though she'll drink chocolate milk, she doesn't like so much that it has that kind of brown syrupy color to it. And as far as syrups go, I pulled out for her to pick from tomorrow some raw honey, some raw blue guave, some pure cane syrup, and some maple syrup. And she might want to mix and match some of those, and it just depends on what you want to go for. So we'll see what happens with that in the morning, and I'll see you guys then. Hey y'all, we're back. Got Lily here. We ran some errands this morning, and we're running a little late, but we're ready to go ahead and make some alternative milk here, and it's ready to go. First, we're going to go ahead and stick it in this here.
I'll pour it in.
Sure.
I don't know how to open it.
There you go. Plop, plop, plop. Stinker. All right. Fill that up. There, look at all the chia seeds floating around.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and pulse this first before we add anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Now it's not all broken apart yet, but we're gonna go ahead and pulse it again in a little bit. But we want to go ahead and add some flavor additives. So I have the hiccups again. It's going to be up to Lily here. We're going to use either cocoa nibs, and we're going to use vanilla beans, or pumpkin pie spice, or some dates.
So I don't know. It does sound good with vanilla and chocolate. That sounds yummy.
Okay.
So I'll use some of these.
Okay.
Mixed with some pumpkin spice. It will taste delicious.
Okay, we'll put a dash of pumpkin spice in there.
It might taste delicious.
Okay. Will you hand me that? We're gonna get the stuff out of the camera.
Yeah.
Get the knife.
Yes, knife. Here is the knife.
Thank you. Good job. Trying to get a vanilla bean out of here. Smell that.
Yum.
All right, so I always save my vanilla beans and just take the seeds out for the recipes. So then we stick them in a jar for vanilla extract later. We're going to go ahead and make a center cut all the way down. And split this bean open. All right. The other half of the bean. Oh, if you can see it, there we go. And then some cocoa nibs.
Yes, cocoa nibs.
Let me put these on the side because we're going to throw those inside a thing later. So, let me see your hands. Maybe about a quarter of a cup of cocoa nibs. Good job.
That's cool how it just, it's so heavy, it's going to stick.
Okay, you didn't want the date though, but
No.
you did want some pumpkin pie spice.
That smells delicious.
All right, now you don't have to add salt or sodium, but the salt does what?
Makes it good flavoring.
Yeah, it makes it pop. So just a little pinch.
Mm-hmm.
Really brings out those other flavors. Now for sweeteners, what do you want, babe? You want raw cane syrup. That's a more smoky flavor. We've got some raw maple syrup, which makes it taste kind of breakfasty. Now remember, we've got chocolate and vanilla in here already, right? So we don't want to do anything that's going to be too overpowering to conflict with those flavors. We got raw honey, and we have blue agave. And the agave is a really slow processed like glucose. So if you're diabetic, that's a really good alternative for sweetener. It's 25% sweeter than sugar is, so it carries over really potent as far as sweetness goes, but it doesn't have a very strong flavor.
Yes, but it's still very healthy.
It is very healthy.
I tried it yesterday and it was delicious, and I do want to put it with this milk.
Okay. And we like ours pretty sweet. Probably sweeter than most people like theirs.
You don't need to add this much sugar to it, or you can just do it as ever you want. But we like doing ours a little different than most others in the store.
Yeah. But it's definitely healthier than the stuff at the store.
Yes, and I also want to use honey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I love honey.
Okay. Little dash of honey, she says. Eventually.
Yes, honey's very slow to pour out a really, really big bottle.
Well, it helps keep Daddy from pouring way too much stuff out
Yeah.
onto his stuff. All right, so now we got that in there, all flavored and sweetened up. I'm gonna put this lid back on and we're gonna pulse it like crazy.
Yes.
Gonna give the motor a little rest, but you can kind of see the cocoa nibs starting to change the color here. Starting to make it kind of on the chocolatey flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to sit on track. All right, so now we're gonna get our bowl and our nut bag or yogurt strainer.
We got a yogurt strainer because it came with our yogurt stuff.
No, I bought these on Amazon.
Oh. I thought you got it From a yogurt.
I got it for making yogurt.
Yeah, it works for also milk too.
Now we're gonna eventually pick it up. Ah! Look, it's all over the top.
No.
All right, so we're gonna pour it into the bag here.
That was so
Now I gotta wash my hoodie.
no, that was funny.
Looks like it puked on me. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and close this up here to make sure that none of the solids escape. I'm gonna give it some squeeze time. I don't know if you see that. It's nice and thick. It
What?
really helps to knead it like a cat. So I just give it a little flip here, and then just how you would think a cat would knead. That smells good now, huh?
Yes, very much. And it's dropping from your arm somehow.
It's a bit messy. Like that. All right. You don't have to worry about squeezing too much out of here on the first round, because we're going to go ahead and throw this back in the blender in a minute and then puree it again with some more water.
For us to make even more milk from using the leftover.
So we got our half-gallon thing here, our little funnel.
I'll hold this funnel for you.
Please. Da, 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 da. There we go. We'll leave that funnel on top there. And then scoot this over.
I have a little something to say.
What?
Make sure to have a growing up with you if you're a child, and make sure to get your growing up if you're watching this.
Right. Yeah. Safety first.
Yes, always safety.
Good job, Bug.
Because you definitely need a growing up's help when you're using the blender.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna try to get that in there without getting too much of the solids on the rim here, because we don't want any solids in our milk.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put this on the side here. And then
I don't know where to put this.
just right there is fine. My hands are sticky. Some more water. Now, instead of water, y'all, you could use whey, like a sweet whey, not an acid whey, to go ahead and add even more nutrients to your milk. So it doesn't necessarily have to be water. So you can even use like green tea if you wanted.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and puree this again, and it doesn't have to be for as long this time. Whoop. Close the lid for steam. All right. And then back into the nut bag.
Nut bag.
Here, hold that for me.
Yep. That's good.
Don't pull it apart, just hold it. What do you smell?
Wonderful milk.
I smell the cocoa nibs. Alright, now this strain, we want to go ahead and get as much of the liquid out as we can. Because this is the last time we do it. Alright. There's that. Move that over here. And then back into this. You gonna hold that there for me, bud?
Yep.
Perfect. And if it's not filled up all the way and you want it filled up all the way, just go ahead and add a little bit of water and give it a shake. Just like that. This guy in the sink. All right.
Make sure to not punch yourself in the face like last time. I didn't mean like that. I mean like.
Yeah. All right. So.
Juice.
Got a Halloween cup here. What you think? It's better after it's refrigerated.
Yes.
It's a very good chilled. That's great. It'll go great with cereal and stuff.
Yes. Very.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for us today. If you liked the video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. Make sure you get our videos, hit the bell. Let us know in the comments what variations you tried, and let us know how it turns out. Okay? See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.